Hi guys, so today I have here this Scholastic Science World Current Science magazine. It is actually my daughter's. She is a big fan of nature and animals. And so I thought it'd be fun to read through this together, and we can learn a little bit about what this magazine has to offer. So on the cover it says, "Off the hook, a new invention could save sharks from getting caught in fishing traps." So we have science news, touching the sun, and in the article it says, in April 2021, NASA's Parker Solar Probe became the first human-made object to touch the sun. The probe, which was launched in 2018, has spent more than 3 years circling closer and closer to the star at the center of our solar system. Last year, the spacecraft officially crossed into the sun's corona, the outermost layer of the star's atmosphere. The sun is a giant ball of scorching hot gases. Parts of its corona reach more than 1.1 million degrees Celsius. The probe was designed to avoid these super hot areas. It was also equipped with a heat shield to protect it from extreme temperatures. Instruments on board the Parker Solar Probe are gathering data to help scientists understand how heat and energy move through the sun's corona and how the sun creates solar wind. These streams of charged particles can disturb technology on Earth. What we are learning from this mission is just mind-blowing. And here we have a close-up of the instrument, and it says, "Antennas and other sensors collect data about the sun's outer atmosphere and the charged particles it emits." Driving fish, biology, animal behavior, and here in this insert we have a goldfish. I'll show you closer up. You can see the fish, and it says, "Scientists are teaching goldfish to drive." A team at the Ben Gurion University in Israel created an FOV, or fish-operated vehicle, to study how fish navigate new environments. Sensors in the FOV detect the direction its goldfish driver swims, and the vehicle moves in response. To see if the fish could purposefully control where the vehicle goes, the scientists set out colorful targets. If the fish drove towards them, they received a reward. All 6 goldfish subjects successfully learned to navigate to the markers as well as around obstacles. These results suggest that fish can learn to find the way around an unfamiliar setting. We'll continue this study by giving the fish a larger and more complex environment to drive through, says Shekhar Gavan, who worked on the study. That may even include navigating a maze, she adds. Teen Treasure Hunter. Last year, British teenager Millie Hardwick was exploring a field with her metal detector. Suddenly, the device started to beep. The detector had sensed something metallic hidden underground. It turned out to be an amazing archaeological find. A collection of 3,000-year-old axes and blade fragments from the prehistoric Bronze Age. Metal detectors used electricity to generate a magnetic field, an invisible force field created by moving electric charges as the detector sweeps back and forth over the ground. The magnetic field moves too. It causes any metal object it encounters to emit its own magnetic field in response, which the detector senses. It's like it senses a disturbance in the force, says Brian Jones, a physicist at Colorado State University. Metal detecting is a popular hobby in Britain. In the past 2 decades, museums there have acquired more than 5,000 artifacts discovered by members of the public like Millie. Look at this here. It says, volcanic pizza. Chef Garcia inspects a pizza he's cooking on the Pacaya volcano in Guatemala. Restaurant Pizza Pacaya doesn't prepare its pizzas in a piping hot oven. Instead, the restaurant's chef, Mario David Garcia Mancilla, cooks up his signature dish using heat from an active volcano. Garcia's business sits atop Pacaya volcano in southern Guatemala. The volcano produces lava that's extremely thick. Sometimes the large bubbles form as hot gas tries to escape the viscous molten rock. As the lava cools, these bubbles form little caverns. Garcia bakes his pizza on the metal trays inside these crevices, where temperatures can reach up to 1,000 degrees Celsius. Volcanic cooking gives pizza a unique flavor, according to Garcia. You can't describe it, he says. You just have to taste it. And here we have a beach ball, and it looks like a pool. And it says here, chlorine shortage. Last summer, many swimming pools around the United States were out of commission. The reason? A shortage of tablets containing the element chlorine, a product used to disinfect pools. When these tablets are added to water, a chemical reaction occurs, causing new compounds to form. One of these is hypochlorous acid, the germ-killing ingredient in bleach. It destroys any harmful microbes like algae, bacteria, and viruses, that contaminate pools. In 2020, Hurricane Laura destroyed the Louisiana factory that produces most of the nation's chlorine tablets. Meanwhile, people were installing pools while spending time at home because of COVID-19. So that only increased the demand for a chemical already in short supply. Since the pools couldn't be maintained, many kids missed out on swimming. Here you have a picture of a shark. You can see its mouth there. It almost looks like he's smiling. And it says, "Shark Saver." An experiment reveals a simple, inexpensive way to keep sharks out of fishing traps. One out of every 3 shark species worldwide are at risk of extinction. And here we have a trap test. Scientists set up an experiment to test whether magnets could help prevent sharks from getting stuck in the fishing traps. Here's how the modified traps worked. Number 1. Magnets around the trap's funnel-shaped openings produced magnetic fields. And here is the magnetic fields in red. The magnetic fields repel sharks, reducing the number that enter the trap. And number 3, other fish which can't detect magnetic fields swim into the openings. The trap entrances are easy to go into but hard to swim out of. So it says, rows of sharp teeth. A keen sense of smell and a sleek, powerful body helps make sharks top ocean predators. In fact, it might seem like nothing could pose a threat to these superior hunters, but many shark species are at risk of dying out. One of the main reasons is fishing. Some fishers intentionally catch sharks for food. In other cases, the animals are caught by accident in nets and traps intended for other fish species, a phenomenon called incidental catch. Even when fishers release these sharks alive, large numbers die afterwards due to the stress of being captured. Science say urgent action is needed to protect these magnificent ocean animals. That's prompted in many countries to enact laws limiting shark fishing. However, tens of millions of sharks continue to die after being caught by accident. So, researchers are looking for innovative ways to keep sharks out of fishing gear. One team of scientists in Australia investigated a simple modification to fishing traps. They found that it reduced the number of sharks accidentally caught in the traps while boosting the catch of other fish. That's a win-win for both conservation efforts and fishers. The article goes on. I'm not going to read it all, but there's some other pictures here. So we have shark scientist, ecologist Vincent Raoult. There's a picture of him on a boat. Alright. This is a young spiny dogfish, which is a small shark that grows to about 4 feet long, and it was accidentally caught in a fishing net in the North Pacific. Well, it's good to see that people are conscious of these things and are trying to do things to prevent accidents like this from happening. And here we have another picture of a hammerhead shark. Bring it down so you can see. And it says, in decline. Great hammerhead sharks like this one seen in the Bahamas are endangered. And here we have condiment craze. From ketchup to sriracha, discover the history and science behind popular dips, sauces, and spreads. In 2021, 91% of people in the US used ketchup, often considered America's most popular condiment. Let's see. Whether you're dipping fries in ketchup, slathering a sandwich with mayo, or squirting mustard on a hot dog, condiments are a great way to add an extra boost of flavor to food. These toppings can span all 5 basic tastes: bitter, salty, sour, sweet, and umami, or savory, however you want to pronounce it. Condiments allow people to customize their food to suit their own preferences. So if you like spicy food, you can add a condiment made with chili peppers. These contain capsaicin, a chemical that creates a fiery sensation in your mouth. If you enjoy tangy tastes, you can choose a condiment based on vinegar, an acid or chemical with a sour flavor. In the past decade, the variety of condiments available on supermarket shelves have exploded. That's because people are looking to try new flavors. So now, along with American staples like ketchup, mayo, and mustard, many stores stock condiments from around the world. This includes jam-like chutney from India, garlicky chimichurri from Argentina, gochujang pepper paste from Korea, and smoky North American harissa, just to name a few. And then we have global flavors here. Sweden and Norway, lingonberry jam, made from berries that grow in wild forests across Norway and Sweden. This sweet jam is served with potato pancakes, cabbage rolls, and meatballs. Then we have Australia, Vegemite. This thick, dark brown spread made from yeast adds a salty, savory taste to toasted bread. And then we have Mediterranean and the Middle East, tahini. I personally love tahini. I love hummus. I love tahini. Made from ground sesame seeds. This nutty paste can be used as a dip for bread and vegetables. Japan, we have wasabi. I also love wasabi. They're 2 of my favorite. Grinding the roots of the wasabi plant creates a spicy green paste often served with sushi. Most wasabi sold in the US is actually a less expensive mixture of horseradish, mustard, and a green food coloring. No more mosquitoes. Well, that would be nice. Wouldn't that be nice if we can get rid of mosquitoes? Scientists are hacking mosquitoes' biology in a battle against these disease-carrying pests. As you read, think about the pros and cons of eliminating certain types of mosquitoes from an environment. Lab-grown insects. A lab facility in China raises mosquito larvae. And the insect, you can see, that's the mosquito larva, kind of gross, as a part of research into reducing disease transmission. Rewriting the code. Scientists have created a tool called CRISPR that allows them to edit DNA, or hereditary material, of an organism such as a mosquito. Here's how it works. Number 1, a mosquito's cells contain DNA. It consists of 2 twisted strands made up of connected molecules called bases. The order of these bases acts as the code that determines the mosquito's traits. 2. Scientists identify the gene or section of DNA that they want to change. They create a piece of guide RNA, a molecule similar to DNA, but made up of a single strand that matches the sequence of the bases in that gene. 3. The scientists inject the guide RNA into mosquito eggs along with an enzyme, a large molecule that causes chemical changes within cells. The enzyme, called CAS9, is capable of cutting a DNA strand. The enzyme binds to the guide RNA, which helps it find the target gene in the cell's DNA. The enzyme separates a portion of the DNA's 2 strands. The RNA holds the enzyme in place while the enzyme snipes through both strands of the DNA. Once the DNA is cut, other molecules the scientists have injected can add or remove bases. The cells naturally repairs the cut DNA, stitching the gene back together with new sequence in place. The mosquito will now have traits determined by the new sequence. Robot umpire. An automatic system could be calling balls and strikes at Major League Baseball games. As you read, think about how technology can help officials make more accurate calls during a sporting event. Now, how do you guys feel about robots replacing humans for jobs? Sustainable surfboard creator. Ryan Harris is leading a new wave in surfing by creating eco-friendly boards. We as an industry have to do better. And then they have a little interview with him here and a picture of him surfing in the water, riding the waves. Harris surfs just about every morning before starting work. And here it says, made of masks. In 2020, Ford Roll, a member of Harris's staff here at Earth Technologies, noticed discarded masks littering the town of Torrance, California, where this company is based. People have been wearing masks to limit the spread of COVID-19. Over the course of a few months, Roll carefully collected tossed masks. Then he and Harris built a surfboard from them. They started with a broken piece of foam and layered mask on top to build up its shape. Then they added fiberglass and resin to protect the foam and harden the board's exterior. They built the fins out of the used plastic straws. The whole board was made of trash, says Harris. Harris paddled the board onto the ocean. It was a little heavy, but it surfed well in the waves. It was such a success that Harris plans to make more boards out of masks. Worms at work. Mealworms break down styrofoam dust and other pieces that can't be recycled. Says here, styrofoam can be recycled. We take scraps from our production process and turn them into new products, keeping the waste out of landfills. Each surfboard begins as a rectangular block of foam called a blank. We sculpt the foam with machines and by hand to create the shape we need. Then we coat it with a non-toxic, plant-based resin and sand it smooth. But sustainability isn't our only goal. Our boards need to serve just as well as the traditional ones do. And they do. Under construction, Harris covers a surfboard foam core with a woven layer of fiberglass to protect it. And here's a picture of them at work, and it says, final coat. Harris seals the fiberglass by applying a liquid resin that hardens as it dries. And that concludes this interesting little read-through of Science World. I hope you guys enjoyed something a little different and we can relax and fall asleep and enjoy some ASMR, but also get a little science education, which is never a bad thing. So we have finished this video today a little bit more relaxed and a little bit smarter. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and night. I'm going to try and wave goodbye backwards over my shoulder. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.